The House Budget Committee, Buddy Carter. Good morning, Congressman. So, we got less than a week to go. How do things look today on Capitol Hill? It does not look like Democrats want to get serious about negotiating and keeping the government open.
No, they do not want to get serious. We've done our job in the House, and let's make sure we understand if the government does shut down, and it shouldn't, but if it does, this will be the Schumer shutdown. It will be on Chuck Schumer and the Democrats. I voted to keep the government open. I voted to make sure we're paying our troops and make sure we don't miss any Social Security checks. Jon Ossoff and Chuck Schumer, they voted against that. They want to make sure that you can have illegal immigrants on health care and make sure that you can have taxpayer-funded gender-changing surgeries and not worry about paying our troops, not worrying about making sure that Social Security checks are coming to people who need it.
Yeah, and Congressman, I don't think a lot of people understand this. This is the government right now, currently, today, operating under Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi's budget. It's their priorities. The continuing resolution that Republicans have suggested continues the Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi budget until we can get a new budget passed. So this is stuff they already support.
Absolutely, and that's why it was a difficult vote for a lot of Republicans. Make no mistake about that, because we don't want to continue with those priorities. We want our priorities to be in there, and we can get it done if we get this 7-week extension, this clean extension. Then I think we'll have time to finish the appropriations process and get put our own stamp on it, if you will. But the Democrats are intent on spending more money. That's what they want to do. What they're proposing is spending almost $1.5 trillion more. And we can ill afford that in our budget right now. With our deficit around $34 trillion, we don't need to be adding to it. But the Democrats want to do that.
Yeah, now it seems like the Office of Management and Budget, the Trump administration, appears to be raising the stakes a little bit, releasing a new memo telling agencies to prepare reduction in force plans in the event of a government shutdown next week. Now, in English, that means firing non-essential government employees in certain areas, not just laying them off and bringing them back when the shutdown is over. Do you think that might actually convince Democrats to come to the table? Because I think if you're not essential, you shouldn't even have your job in the first place.
Well, that's exactly right. And listen, I wouldn't question Donald Trump. He's the chief negotiator. He's the great negotiator. And when, he doesn't make threats just lightly. And this is not necessarily a threat, but this is an opportunity to do away with some waste, fraud, and abuse. And what we're talking about here is non-essential workers. And as you point out, they probably shouldn't be there in the first place. But now's the opportunity for us to do something about that.
So, Congressman, now I'm not going to ask you to make a wager. We're not talking about the Bulldogs this weekend, but do you think the government will shut down or not next week? What's your position on it right this very minute?
Well, it shouldn't, but I will tell you that I don't think negotiations are going very well. Obviously, the president was willing to meet with Schumer and with Hakeem Jeffers, and their demands were just not reasonable at all. Look, they wanted to extend the ACA tax subsidies permanently for a 7-week extension on our budget. Come on, guys. I was born at night, but it wouldn't last night. We're not going to do that. We're not going to fall into your demands for a 7-week CR. This is something that the president's willing to negotiate with if they will come to the table with serious offers.
Yeah, all right. Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter, and on behalf of Charlotte, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.